Am I the asshole for not shortening my workout for two strangers? Yesterday at the gym around 5:30 p.m., I started my leg day workout, which is usually the longest of the week. I was using the power rack to do squats, deadlifts, and good mornings, typically taking about 30 to 40 minutes. There are 3 power racks, and I was using one of them. I take about 3-minute rests between squat sets since I'm doing heavy weight for low reps. While I was squatting, 2 girls, who I'll call Girl A and Girl B, started waiting behind me. Neither approached me to ask how many sets I had left, but they just hung around. When I finished squatting and began re-racking my weights to prepare for deadlifts, I could tell they assumed I was done. I walked up to Girl A and asked if she was waiting for me to finish. She said yes, so I explained that I still had deadlifts and another movement to do. She responded with, "Ooh, of course you do," and I just moved on. As I set up and began deadlifting, both girls stood nearby, rolling their eyes and acting frustrated, as though I should be shortening my workout for them. I decided to be polite and asked Girl A what she wanted to do. She said squats, so I offered her the nearby squatting area, since I wasn't using it. She declined, so I kept going with my workout. Meanwhile, another guy using a different power rack offered the same to Girl B, but she also declined. A group of 2 women then came up, and the girls complained that they had been waiting for 30 minutes and it was ridiculous. I ignored them. When I finished deadlifting, Girl A moved away to warm up. I approached Girl B, and before I could speak, she looked at me and paused her music, saying, "What? Hold on. I can't hear you." I told her I still had 1 more movement to do and would need 5 to 10 more minutes. She seemed upset and responded sarcastically, "Okay, that's fine. I've already been here 30 minutes. What's another 10? I shook my head and walked away. As I started my next movement, I briefly considered shortening it to avoid further conflict, but then decided not to. I didn't want to reward their rudeness by letting them dictate my workout. I've been lifting since 2016 and have always tried to be respectful and kind to others at the gym. When people ask politely, I don't mind sharing equipment, but the way these girls treated me was unpleasant. I continued my workout as planned because being kind is free, and I wasn't going to let their behavior disrupt my day. Am I the asshole for continuing my workout despite their rude behavior?
Am I the asshole for refusing to chip in for an expensive gift I wasn't consulted on? My family has a tradition of pooling money for birthday gifts. We usually keep it reasonable around $50 per person. It's always been a casual arrangement, and we discuss it before anyone buys something. This year, my brother, let's call him Jake, decided to order a gift for our mom without asking anyone. When he sent the message telling us how much we each owed, I was shocked. It was almost 4 times what we normally contribute. I don't even think she used the gift, since she already has similar things collecting dust, and he also spent about double than what I would have found this gift for. It's so expensive, buying it used would have also been a smarter option, and in this case wouldn't have made a difference. I told Jake that this was way out of budget for me and that I'd rather do my own gift. Now, I'm getting guilt-tripped with things like, well, we already bought it, and we don't have the money to cover your share. He even called me, assuming I just couldn't afford it, and asked if I could contribute whatever I can. But I find it weird to act like I paid the same as everyone else when I didn't. To that he said it's better than the others having to increase their share much more because of me. In the past, Jake has given my mom expensive gifts, and I suspect she might have just told him, "Buy me this," assuming he'd cover it himself. He used to have extra money, but he doesn't anymore. So now, after already buying it, he's expecting us to split it. I feel like this isn't my problem, but am I the asshole for opting out and doing my own gift instead?
Am I the asshole for not wanting to be a guy's backup plan after he got rejected? So, I, 20 female, have this guy in my friend group who's always been flirty with a lot of girls, but I never thought much of it because that's just how he is. Recently, he was really into this one girl, posting about her, talking about how she was different, and even planning a big date to shoot his shot. Well, she turned him down. Hard. And suddenly the energy shifted. Out of nowhere, he started texting me more, complimenting me, and acting like I was so fun to talk to. At first, I thought maybe he was just being friendly, but then he straight up said, "Honestly, I should have gone for you instead." I wasn't rude, but I made it clear I wasn't interested. I just said, "I don't think that's a good idea." That's when he hit me with, "Wow, so now you don't even give nice guys a chance." Like, what? Just last week I was invisible to him, but now that his first choice said no, suddenly I'm worth considering. No thanks. I told him, I don't want to be anyone's second choice. Now some guys in our friend group are saying I was too harsh, and that I should appreciate that he sees my value now. But why would I want someone who only noticed me after another girl rejected him? Am I the asshole for refusing to be a consolation prize?
Am I the asshole for not agreeing with my GF? Today in the middle of my 25 male work day, my GF 20 for female texted me, "So do you not like me anymore or something? You don't ask me about my day or anything." The text caught me off guard as it was out of the blue, so I replied, "What? I'm still at work and I ask you that pretty much every day." She then says I am invalidating her feelings because I won't just admit I don't ask her about her day every day. But I do ask her most days. Some days I get home when she's asleep, maybe once every 2 weeks or so. I have been working extra plus have been busy with side work on my day off for the last few weeks, but I have still spent 100% of my free time at home talking or watching TV with her when I am home from work. Last night I was particularly exhausted, so I was quiet and watching TV having a beer when I got home, which is uncharacteristic of me. I knew she'd feel a type of way about my tired mood, so I texted, "I am so beat, I can't believe I still have 5 more days of work after this before I left work," to which she ignored and told me she is going to her friend's house. After GF arrived home a couple hours after me, she asked, "What, are you sad or something?" to which I replied, "No, I am just really exhausted," and I spent the rest of the night resting with her on our couch before turning in early. Usually we talk more, but with so much going on I just couldn't do anything besides sit or sleep. I understand she is asking for validation in her text message, but I feel the way it was done was very inconsiderate and accusatory. I have been putting in as much effort as possible given my current schedule, cooking for both of us daily, doing chores during my day off, and talking to her about what's going on in her life at the end of the day, so I felt upset over her asking me in this way. I even asked her what more she would like me to do and she couldn't even answer the question. When I explained my frustrations with her question to her, she just said okay, then okay. It is hard to not feel that she is projecting. I don't think disagreeing is the same as invalidating, and feel like I am being blamed for her feeling insecure, which she has a history of doing to me. Or am I the asshole and invalidating her feelings?
Am I the asshole for taking credit for a team project when I did most of the work? So, I, 27 female, work on a team at my job where we were tasked with putting together a big presentation. The thing is, most of the work fell on me. I did the majority of the research, created the slides, and even came up with the main points. But when it came time to present, I didn't give my teammates as much credit as I should have. I've been working really hard lately, and I wanted this to be a moment where I could show my boss what I'm capable of. So during the presentation, I kind of glossed over the fact that others contributed and made it seem like I was the driving force behind the whole thing. Some of my teammates are annoyed with me for not giving them proper credit, but I feel like I put in way more effort than they did. I'm proud of the work I did, and I don't think I should have to downplay my role just to make everyone else feel better. So, am I the asshole for taking credit for a team project when I did most of the work?
Am I the asshole for refusing to sleep on the floor in our Airbnb? I, 21 male, I am going on a trip with 2 friends, a guy 19 male and a girl 19 female. We all get along well, and we found a nice, cheap Airbnb in a quiet area. The Airbnb has 1 single sofa bed and 1 double bed. After we booked it, The girl suddenly suggested that we rotate who sleeps on the sofa bed and the double bed, which seemed fair to me at first. But then she said she won't share the double bed with another guy because of a past experience that affected her. I told her I understood, but that means my friend and I would have to take turns sleeping on the floor since there are only 2 sleeping spots. I suggested she stay on the sofa bed instead, but she refused, saying she has back problems. Now it feels like she expects my friend and me to alternate between the sofa and the floor while she always gets the double bed. I don't think that's fair, but she insists on her arrangement. AITAH for refusing to sleep on the floor.
Am I the a-hole for refusing to babysit my cousins after I already told my aunt no? So I, 14F, was at my grandparents' house as usual, and I am the oldest between my cousins, so most of the responsibility is on me. I usually don't mind helping, but let me tell you, my cousins that I am talking about are very spoiled. Like if they don't get way, they throw the biggest temper tantrums in kid history, laying on the floor screaming through wing and breaking things the works. So because of this, I never really got along with them. I have social anxiety, and the loud voices really get toned, so I avoid them. So when she asked me to quote, just take her with you won't cause you any trouble, I knew that meant that me and my other cousins weren't going to be able to play, because she will throw a massive temper tantrum like always, so I said no. But we were in the kitchen, so I didn't feel awkward. But then she got in the living room, in front of 20 people. She said, "Thank you for taking my kids with you now." I knew that this was straight up manipulation. So I said back in the loudest voice, before it is considered screaming, that I already told her that I won't be babysitting her children, and that she is their mother, and shouldn't manipulate me because she didn't raise her children right. And now they are brats after that. While my mom understands that I was angry, she thinks I shouldn't have yelled, while my aunt called me ungrateful and a disgrace to the family. So am I the asshole?